This steak right here is what I consider to be the future of meat. I've talked about it quite a bit on the channel. This is called Meati. Now, Meati is made from mushroom mycelium, and it's really exciting because the texture, the flavor, it's unbelievable. They've really nailed it, and I think that it's just gonna keep getting better. This is the first steak like this to hit the market, so I'm really excited to see what comes next. But I'm not the only one that thinks this is the future of meat. Chipotle just invested a ton of money into Meati, so my best assumption is you're gonna see this in your next Chipotle burrito. So I wanted to give it a try before it hit the market. Be the first one to say that we've tried the mushroom mycelium Chipotle burrito. And I just wanted to see what I thought of it, but I also wanted to see what some friends thought of it. But I have a feeling, based on what I've tried from this thing so far, it's gonna be really good.
Okay, so the very first thing that we need to do is make the Chipotle inspired marinade for our meaty steaks. So I'm just gonna take about 4 or 5 ancho chilies and we're just gonna blend them up into a powder. Now, I used my food processor at first. I thought that was gonna be, do enough, but really it didn't create the powder that I wanted. So we had to break out the big boy and bring in the blend tech and really get this turned into a powder. I mean, it pretty much instantly made a difference. I was pretty excited about that. So now that we have some fresh ancho chili powder, let's make the rest of this marinade. It's gonna be pretty easy. So we're gonna break out the food processor again, and I'm gonna add about 6 cloves of garlic. Now you could go a little bit more, a little bit less, that's up to you. And then I bought some adobo sauce. Now you can make your own adobo sauce. There's a million recipes out there, but I just wanted to buy my own just to kind of kickstart this recipe and make it quick. Now the oil separated on mine and it made it a little bit difficult to kind of like mix up, and it just made kind of a mess. So eventually I got it mixed up. So I'm going to use about 3 tablespoons of the adobo sauce, and then we just need 2 tablespoons of that ancho chili powder. Now I'm going to keep the food processor running this whole time, and now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 3 teaspoons of cumin, 3 teaspoons of dried oregano. Now we're going to add about 1/2 cup of cold water and then some salt and pepper. It's going to be about a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. And you could see this is like a smoky kind of like soup. It's not super thin, but it's also not very thick either. So now I'm just gonna toss this into the bottom of like a small bowl and make sure that the bottom of like where the meaty steak is like pretty covered. And then we're just gonna cover each steak. Now, this first batch that I'm gonna do for Monica and I'm gonna kind of do the marinade just a little thin and just see how it comes out. So we're gonna cover these completely in the marinade and let them rest for at least an hour. I think that's gonna be enough time to really get that kind of soaked through with these meaty steaks.
Hey gang, real quick, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Vessi. Vessi makes some seriously awesome waterproof sneakers, which living in Florida and having to deal with the daily summer rain, having these sneakers is pretty epic. They will keep your feet dry no matter how wet it is outside. Vessi sneakers are made from Dymatex, which is a dual climate knit material that keeps you cool in the summer and warm in the colder weather, which again is really great here in Florida because I mean, it's always hot. And they are super comfortable, lightweight, and breathable, which for me, it normally takes me a few days to break in a new pair of sneakers, but these were comfortable right away. I mean, right out of the box, these things were comfy. And these shoes look super sleek too. I'm a big fan of the design. They're vegan, sustainable, durable, and lightweight. It really doesn't get any better. And I just wore them outside in the rain, and I mean, I'm telling you, I put a tissue paper in just to see, and the tissue is still dry, and the shoe on the outside is wet. Inside's dry. It's amazing. I mean, it's just amazing. So gang, check out my new go-to shoe in the link below, or head over to vessi.com and pick up a pair yourself. You're absolutely gonna love them. Vessi, thanks for sponsoring today's video and making some seriously epic sneakers.
Okay, so now that I'm drenched right now because it's pouring outside, I had to run to Chipotle to get the Chipotle burrito because I ordered a Chipotle burrito, but what I got was just a mess of ingredients, nowhere near what I ordered. There was cheese on it, and I mean, it was a disaster. And now that I had to come out and get it, let's go home and make the burrito. Okay, sorry, I was a little upset about the mistaken burrito delivery. That was just really messed up. But I mean, these steaks look really good. So now we just need to fry them up. And I'm gonna try to cook them just like how Chipotle would. So we're just gonna heat a cast iron skillet, pretty hot, a little olive oil in the pan. And then we're gonna cook these meaty steaks, kind of like constantly flipping. This is not gonna be like a real steak. We're just gonna constantly flip these and heat them up until they hit an internal temperature of 165 degrees. I mean, and these things just look so incredible. I mean, just look at these steaks. So now we just wanna let them them rest for just a few moments, and then I'm just gonna cube them up. So we're just gonna cut them into slices, then cut them into smaller cubes. And now we just need to make our burrito. So for this Chipotle burrito, I just got a vegan Chipotle bowl with all of the toppings, everything they have that can be plant-based, and then add a little bit of the ingredients, like your base ingredients, your rice, your beans, and some of the veggies. Throw the meaty steak on, and then throw some toppings on and wrap it up. I mean, and honestly, I'm pretty proud of the way that I've wrapped this. I've never been a really great burrito wrapper, but I think I nailed it on this one. So now let's see what Monica has to say about it. I mean, that looks like a steak burrito. Look at that. So let's grab our burritos. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's see, do we got, does this improve a Chipotle vegan burrito?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Very good.
Wow.
It
I don't know
tastes
what to
like-
say.
I don't either. I mean, it tastes like a steak burrito to me.
Does it taste like a meaty Chipotle burrito? Like, does it authentically taste like it came from Chipotle?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Walker's walking around. Sorry about the clicky clacks. I wouldn't know that this wouldn't come from Chipotle. So I don't want to trick my friends, so I'm gonna make another batch. I am gonna make the other batch. I'm gonna have the marinade go a little bit longer. I'm gonna marinate it even more. I'm gonna put some more marinade on it. And then I'll just go from there. I'm gonna make it exactly the same. We're gonna go to Chipotle. I'm gonna get a burrito bowl, or probably 2 burrito bowls and 2 burritos. And I just wanna see if my buddies think how they feel about the meat. Does it feel like it came from Chipotle?
I think it feels like that and tastes like that.
Thanks, baby. So now we're just gonna cut these up exactly the same way as I did before. I'm just gonna cube them up. I'm actually gonna make the cubes a little bit smaller because I wanna be able to get more steak on the burritos. Now, I do wanna point out, I just wanna show here really quick, this is how juicy these meaty steaks are. They are wild. They're just wildly juicy. They're so good. So I'm just gonna toss this into a to-go container, head over to Chipotle, get to my buddy's house, and put together this burrito. And now let's just see what my buddies have to say.
It's quite good, and it pulls apart like exactly like meat does. Yeah. It tastes and feels like steak.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would never have thought it wasn't.
It's good. It's really good. It's you know, in the burrito you can't really tell it. Like Eris was saying, it pulls apart when you bite into it like a piece of their steak would.
Steak, does it taste like a...
Yeah, it tastes like a steak. I would never think it was anything but. I mean, yeah, like beef. Actually,
Yep.
Indeed.
Do you think if somebody accidentally got you that you would even know?
No.
No.
Yeah. No.
If you would just
Would
bring me
never
a
have guessed.
If I would have asked for a steak Chipotle burrito and you brought me this, I would have not told you anything.
Okay.
Else.
Yeah.
So there it is. This could be the meat that's going to be in your next Chipotle burrito. Are you excited? I'm really curious. Let me know in the comments below, and make sure you click that subscribe and like button. It really helps out.